For generations, second-generation immigrants were proof the American dream worked. The children who would rise beyond their parents' struggles. But today, many are asking a different question. What happens when the dream stops feeling possible? For decades, the children of immigrants have stood at a crossroad between two worlds, carrying their parents' stories of sacrifice while stepping into the possibilities of American life. The equation seems simple: sacrifice, education, hard work, success. Second-generation immigrants earned more than their parents, bought homes, earned degrees, and climbed higher. But somewhere between then and now, the equation broke. Rising cost of living, widening inequality, and competitive labor markets have made upward mobility far more fragile. Some second-generation immigrants continue to rise, yet many others encounter limited opportunities and growing pressures from their families to succeed. For some, this gap between expectation and reality leads to disillusionment, guilt, and a quiet sense of hopelessness. Before we understand how the American dream is changing, we need to understand what's breaking it, at least why this generation is losing faith in it. This leads us to a question. What structural, cultural, and generational dynamics fuel disillusionment among second-generation immigrants?
Having a conversation with my parents about how bad and poor the job market has been, they go about trying to compare.
Second-generation Asian American kids are more likely to be depressed than their immigrant parents.
The immigrant parents can sometimes say, you've had everything. I had the hardships. Why do you have anxiety and depression?
I'm almost certain I won't have a job by graduation. I just don't see myself graduating with a job.
This doesn't look like a lack of ambition. It is a world that promised us one thing and delivered another. Rent that swallows half a paycheck, degrees that lead to gig work, but not careers.
The majority of Americans don't make enough money to cover some of the basic costs of living, like healthcare and rent. It's called the affordability gap.
We have a generation asking, why did I do everything right and still feel like I'm failing? But not everyone has lost hope.
Hi, my name is Lucia Moria. I think we put a lot of more pressure on ourselves these days to do better than how our parents did because, they came here with basically nothing, at least some of our parents did, and were able to make something of themselves so that we could make more of ourselves, if that makes sense. So that does put pressure on me, but I don't know, it's a pressure that sometimes I'm willing to take on.
The ambition didn't disappear. The path just got narrower, and the stakes got higher. For many second-generation immigrants, success stopped feeling like a choice and started feeling like a debt. Beyond this disillusionment is a growing gap between inherited dreams and present realities. For many second-generation immigrants, belief in the American dream was something passed down, along with the family legacy, a debt, and a brighter future they are expected to attain.
Hello, my name is Eliezer. My mom, living through the collapse of an entire government, she was more about financial security and insulation that I talked about, and that was her primary focus, as well as with my dad. Like I had mentioned, growing up in Latin America, it had its challenges, and it exposed the real world to him and the legitimate fear and danger of what the rest of a majority of the world is like outside of the U.S. So I think my parents were really just focused on safety and financial security, and while that is an aspect of my American dream, I think I have more desires for fulfillment and betterment of everyone else too.
But what happens when the dream they were raised to fight for no longer matches the reality they are facing?
My name is Lorella Di Gregorio. We still have the idea of American dream, but this idea has shifted, in my opinion. They can feel that they belong. It is not that difficult, in my opinion. Maybe because I've been lucky in both departments where I've been working in the United States. I've been teaching languages, and probably because this field is characterized by a variety, a melting pot. It's actually ideal. So I feel that I have had the best experience, where the accent doesn't matter, where the fact that everyone speaks differently, it's actually something better, no? Something that you are adding up. So I wish that this feeling would mirror the society at large. So like a place where you don't feel that you are the stranger, and you feel that you are appreciated and celebrated, not despite of your identity, but because of it. I think like the whole idea of American dream is an idea of openness, not defined by borders, and the fact that if you work very hard, you can succeed here. I still believe in this, even though probably the American dream, the way it used to be, has lost a little bit of its allure. But definitely, I would suggest to stay human.
These pressures shape not just career decisions, but identity, self-worth, and mental health. Disillusionment is only half the story. The other half is how they confront it. Supporting second-generation immigrants begins with honesty about expectations, about mental health, and about the pressure to succeed in an unforgiving world. It requires bridging the gap, reducing mental health stigma within families and a broader immigrant community in order to reduce the self-inflicted pressure that would create a vicious cycle of stress, guilt, and resentment.
And stigmas are so intertwined with one's identity. One of the main ones across immigrant groups is the stigma of mental health and even abuse. You see, when people are just trying to survive, their options and resources are limited. They don't have any other way out, or they don't know any better. But even when they do, people tolerate it because they don't have any other way. And when they do, they perpetuate the situation because they're so used to tolerating it. For us to bridge the gap here, we have to recognize that we need to educate and encourage. We have to remove the stigma. Resources are widely available.
Programs should exist to support second-generation immigrants in seeking help and being open with their parents about the pressures they feel. Organizations like Active Minds, which builds peer-to-peer mental health awareness on college campuses, and Brown Girl Therapy, the largest mental health space for children of immigrants, are already doing critical work, creating safe spaces, building capacity for honest conversations, and helping young people translate their ambitions into tangible goals.
I think programs for helping second-gen students navigate college applications and also mentoring them at their universities for career preparedness is essential, and also financial literacy.
Mental health access is key, but so is creating programs designed specifically for second-generation immigrants that address their educational and professional development needs. Most existing resources are built either for first-generation immigrants or for the general student population, leaving second-generation youth navigating expectations, identity, and opportunity largely on their own. What's missing are programs that combine career mentorship, internship pipelines, scholarship guidance, financial literacy, and network opportunities that are tailored to their unique circumstances, balancing parental hopes, cultural identity, and modern economic realities. On a larger scale, there's need for policies that make progress feel real again. Policies that provide second-generation immigrants with the tools to succeed and the space to choose their own path, not just the one imagined for them. The conversations reveal not just what's broken, but what's possible. Second-generation immigrants stand at the crossroads of sacrifice and expectation, of history and hope. They carry their parents' dream and the weight of a changing world, but maybe the dream isn't gone, but evolving. Maybe the next chapter isn't about climbing a ladder someone else built, it's about designing a new one.